Ay, by the way, before I start, no, um, regarding your quiz 5, no, apparently maraming mataas na score sa quiz 5, no, and nakakatuwa is that may mga naka-perfect pa. Okay. So, yan. So, that's good. By the way, if yung sagot nyo is feel nyo, tama yung sagot nyo, pero malapit lang yung answer sa in-encode kong correct answer. Kunwari, sagot nyo, 7.2. Tapos ang nilagay ko doon, 7.1. No? Tapos minali siya ng canvas. So, I will be the one who will manually adjust the scores. No? So, I will accept answers near to the correct answer. Okay? And then, I will upload also the solutions sa quiz na yon. Okay? Kasi, ang daming sinosolve eh. So, I will upload the solution para aware kayo kung paano ko nakuha yung ganong number. Okay? So, yun lang. And I hope that all those materials, yung mga binibigay kong worksheet, I hope that they are supplementary, no, for your final exam review. Okay? So, malapit na kasi. Kaya, aral lang maigi. Binibigyan ko naman kayo materials unlike others, no? Okay, unlike others. Anyway, so let's start now. So electrochemistry, this subject is familiar to some, no? Especially if naabutan nyo to sa senior high school. Pero ako hindi ko to natuturo sa senior high ko eh. Kulang kasi oras namin. But yun, if yung naturo to ng senior high, this should be somehow familiar. Okay? Pero if not, okay lang. No? So let's talk about electrochemistry, the chemistry of electrons. Okay? So ito yung ating chapter outline. So we have this. No? For today, we will only cover this. No? Today is Tuesday pa lang pala, pero pagod na ako. And then on Friday, we will discuss this. And then on Tuesday next week, we will discuss this. No? So ito yung coverage ng i-discuss natin for our hindi pala 6 days, 3 days session. Okay? For the chapter 6 na. So we will cover this first two muna, then proceed tayo with the others. Okay? So, what is electrochemistry? Yun yung chemistry ng electricity, no? Okay. So, basahin natin definition niya. Electrochemistry is the branch of chemistry that deals with the interconversion of electrical energy and chemical energy. So, ano meaning nun? Kuha tayong example, cellphone nyo, kaya laptop nyo, or iPad, no? Kaya Apple Watch nyo, o kaya Apple Pencil nyo, o lahat na may mga battery, no? Ano napapansin nyo sa kanila, sa mga batteries? Nasa loob nun, chemicals, di ba? Ang chemical na yon either lithium, either nickel, no? Meron nga permanganate, no? Okay? So ibig sabihin yung mga batteries natin sa ating mga cellular devices, inside that are chemicals, no? And what do we know about batteries? Yung chemicals sa battery, we can obtain enough energy to power our devices mula sa chemicals, di ba? For example, itong iPad, no? Itong pinagle-lecturean ko. Ang battery na ito ay lithium polymer. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, yung lithium dito, may ginagawa siya, no? That produces electricity. And yun yung reason ba't gumagana yung aking device, no? Ganun din sa laptop, no? So, yung laptop natin, kung yan ay fully charged, tinanggal mo sa saksakan, gumagana pa rin. Why? Because the batteries of the laptop supply energy to our device. Okay. So, anong study ng chemistry yung magi-investigate on that phenomena? Electrochemistry. So, in this chemistry, in this topic, we are going to see the interconversion of two, no, from chemicals to electricity. You may ask siguro, ano relation nito sa medtech, no? May kinalaman ba to sa medtech? Kasi parang puro battery lang, no? Ang common example natin dito. Actually, may kinalaman to sa medtech, no? Even in biochemistry, electrochemistry is an important topic, no? O naaalala niyo yung kapag kunwari nasa mall kayo 'no, kasama niyo yung mga yung friends niyo kaya yung special someone niyo. 'Di ba 'pag nagdikit kayo may spark minsan? Okay, electrochemistry 'yun 'no, yung literal na spark yung nakukuryente ka talaga. Minsan nga nakikita ko pa 'yun, eh. Electrochemistry din 'yun, okay? So, yun yung gagawin natin for the next 3 days, no? We are going to understand the concepts behind this, no? And ano yung application niya sa field ninyo. Okay? So, let me start with the application sa field nyo para maengganyo tayo to study this, no? Saan ginagamit ng electrochemistry? For example, we have this glucose meter. Zoom in natin. So, if may diabetic kayong family members, you should be familiar with this one. This is the glucose meter. I have one of this. Bumili ako kasi wala akong magawa before. Wala akong diabetes, no? Diabetes. Pero bumili pa rin ako. Kasi natuwa ako dito sa part na to. This is the test strip, no? The glucose meter strip, no? Kung titignan mo yan in person, I actually have one sa taas. May circuit doon, no? May mga, para siyang motherboard na something. Okay? And then on the end, you have a well wherein doon mo ilalagay yung blood, no? So, to use that, you have your finger, you prick it with the lancet, no? Yung lancet yung pinantutusok na maliit. Alam nyo yun, no? So, lalabas yung dugo, tas yung dugo na yun, ipapasok nyo dun sa well na yun. Then, what will happen is that, pag nandun na yung dugo, this will study kung ano yung components nun. And from that, no, malalaman niya yung sugar levels mo. Pwede sabihin niya, 120, ano ka na, millimoles per deciliter. Mataas na yung sugar na yon, no? I think 100 yung normal, no? I don't know. Pero alam ko yung 120 mataas na yun, no? Puro asukal na katawan mo nun. Okay? So, yun. Paano yun gumagana, no? You may ask, no? Paano gumagana yung mga ganong bagay? So, electrochemistry yun. Okay? So, to give you an idea, paano is ganito. Okay. So, yung blood natin, take note that it contains ions, no? It contains particles, no? Including doon ay yung glucose, okay? So, ang gagawin nito is that yung test strip, yung kuryente mula dito, yung energy from this, no? Magpa-pass through yon sa ating blood, no? So, dadaan yung kuryente sa blood, and then yung glucose sa ating blood, may gagawin siyang chemical reactions, no? And then, syempre, yung chemical reaction na yon may relationship yon with the energy, no? Pwedeng habang nangyayari yung chemical reaction na yon, bumababa yung voltage or tumataas yung voltage. So, kapag bumaba or tumaas yung voltage, yung intensity ng increase or decrease sa voltage, no, from the supplied and the output, that will give you the idea kung gaano karami yung sugar sa blood mo. Okay? So, ganun lang ginagawa niya. Aalamin niya, uy, nagbago ba yung nagbago ba yung voltage? Pag nagbago yung voltage, ibig sabihin nun, may corresponding sugar concentration na yan. Ang galing, 'di ba? So, ibig sabihin, kinukuryente lang niya yung sample mo, lalabas na yung concentration. Anong study ng chem yung ganun? Electrochem. Kasi sa electrochem, aalamin lang natin yung voltage, pwede mo na malaman yung concentration. 'Di ba? So, ganun. No? Another example would be the pH meter. Okay, so this should be familiar, especially if kayo ay nakapag-lab sa inyong high school. So, this is the pH meter. You have this, case, no? Ito yung parang pinaka-motherboard niya. And then, you have the probes, no? Nilulublub nyo yun sa solution. So, if you dip your electrodes to the solution, lalabas yung pH. And we know that pH is concentration. Concentration yan, di ba, ng hydrogen. Naka-negative log lang. O, you may ask yourself, no, paano nalaman yung concentration ng paano nalaman yung concentration ng H dito ng pH meter? Ganito lang. Ginagawa nito is that dito sa electrode na yan, may kuryenteng dumadaloy dyan. Okay? Kaya nga may wire dyan eh. May dumadaloy na kuryente dyan. So, ang gagawin nun is that the probe will pass through current, no? May papass through siya diyang kuryente. May kuryente na dadaloy dito sa solution, although di mo yun mafe-feel. Okay? Yung ions na feel yon. Okay? So may dadaloy diyang kuryente, and then by determining kung ano yung voltage difference from the reference point, yun, makukuha mo na yung pH, yung concentration ng H. Okay? So yun yung application ng electrochem, no? By just determining kung gaano karami yung nagbago sa voltage, pwede mo malaman yung concentration. So ibig sabihin, this can be applied to your field, no? Especially in the future, pag kayo pasado na sa boards, magdi-deal kayo with testing the concentration of different molecules sa body, no? Be it metabolites or ions, 'di ba? Mini-measure niyo 'yon, and may implication 'yon kasi sa tao, 'di ba? Kunwari mataas yung kanyang creatinine, mataas yung sugar, ibig sabihin nun, there's something wrong. Okay? Mataas yung uric acid. So paano mo mini-measure yung mga 'yon? We use instruments like glucose meter, pH meter, no? So, itong mga metering devices na to, they use electricity, no, to determine the concentration. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, although this topic seems tangent sa field nyo, parang it seems na hindi siya included sa field nyo, no? But in reality, yung instruments na ginagamit nyo ay based sa electrochem. Okay? So, yun. So, hopefully, nakita natin yung importance ng subject na to. Okay? So, yan. Although kasi common itong example, yung mga battery, ito yung uncommon, no? Ito yung important sa field ninyo, no? Okay? So, yan. So, sana makita natin yung electrochem as a different field of science, no? Important siya to explain our instruments that we use in analyzing chemicals sa ating samples. Okay? Okay, so yun, alam na natin kung ano yung principle and concept behind these devices, no? To name a few. But hindi mas maganda, no? Mas magandang malaman natin yung pinaka underlying concepts talaga, no, ng electrochem. Para malay nyo, makagawa kayo ng panibagong meter, no? Kunwari, instead na, 'di ba sa urinalysis, colorimetry 'yun eh, spectrophotometer ginagamit doon eh. O pwede naman gumawa na lang kayo ng ganito, urine meter, no? Ilulublob mo lang siya sa ihi, tapos lalabas na yung mga data, no? Lalabas na yung iba't ibang metabolites na nakahalo dun sa ihi, no? So pwede ganun, no? Malay nyo, makaimbento kayo ng ganun. Okay. So, para makaimbento kayo ng ganun, naaaralin muna natin yung electrochem. Okay? So, let's do that. No? So, hopefully na-appreciate nyo yung electrochem kahit papano. No? So, because this is relevant to our subject. Okay? In understanding electrochemistry, no? Punta na tayo sa main topic. No? In understanding electrochemistry, we should know this this important topic muna, no? The oxidation numbers. This was discussed to you last semester, no? Sa chapter 4 to eh. Ako kasi gumawa ng PowerPoint nun, kaya naaalala ko, diniscuss to sa inyo last semester. Kasi ako ngayon gumawa ng PowerPoint. Okay, oxidation numbers. Are you still familiar with the oxidation numbers? I guess hindi na, no? Nakalimutan nyo na siguro. But it's okay, no? Because magre-refresh tayo. Okay, so before we proceed with the electrochem mismo, let us review the oxidation numbers because important to sa electrochem. Okay, important to explain how our devices work. Now, so let's talk about oxidation numbers. Oxidation number is the charge of an atom if electrons around it were completely transferred rather than shared. No, okay. So, ang oxidation number, this is similar with the formal charge, no? Naalala yung formal charge? Tinuro yan, chapter 3 yan ng Inorg Chem. Okay? Okay, so for example, we have this. Sa formal charge, we are obtaining the charge of the atom if the electrons are shared, no? 'Di ba gano'n ginagawa sa formal charge? Yung electrons shared 'yan, no? Kaya sabi ko sa mga students ko, pinuputol namin 'yan dati. And to get formal charge, that is should minus have, no? So this is 4 minus 4, 0 formal charge niya. This is 6 minus 6, 0 din yan. 6 minus 6 is 0. Yun yung formal charge, no? Sa formal charge, we assume that the electrons are shared, no? So oxidation number, iba naman yung idea dito. We assume that in oxidation number na yung ating electrons will be abstracted, no, by electronegative atom. Okay? So gagawin ng mga electronegative atom, kukunin lahat ng electron. Okay? So kukunin niya lahat ng electron. So ibig sabihin yan, yung carbon wala na siyang electron, so positive 4 yung magiging charge niyan. Ito magiging negative 2, ito magiging negative 2. Okay? So yun yung pinaka-underlying idea talaga dito, no. Pero to make things simpler, let us just follow the rules na lang instead of explaining it this way. Okay? Pero ito talaga yung pinaka-concept nun. We assume that the electrons are completely transferred to the more electronegative atoms, no. Kaya ayun, doon natin makukuha yung oxidation number. But to make things less complicated, we can just simply follow the rules stated here. Okay? Para alam natin kung ano yung oxidation number ng ating atoms. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. Let's have rule number 1. For an atom in its elemental form, oxidation number is equal to 0, meaning none. When I say elemental form, that means the formula contains only one element. It doesn't have any charge na. So take note natin, pag sinabing elemental form, one element only, tapos no charge. That is the elemental form. Let's have some example of atoms in an elemental form. Let's say Na. Isang formula unit yan na may isang atom lang at wala yung charge. Okay? So ibig sabihin, Na is an elemental form. O2. Is this elemental form? Yes. Bakit? Isa lang yung element dito. Ano yung element lang? Oxygen lang. It doesn't matter kung gaano karaming atom. Basta iisa yung element mo, elemental form yun. Okay? So oxygen is in elemental form. Okay? Kasi isa lang yung atom na nandun sa formula niya and it doesn't have any charge. Okay. Let's have this. Tetraphosphorus, P4. This is also another elemental form. Bakit? Looking at the formula, isa lang element niya and wala yang charge. Paano mo malalaman kung may charge? Kapag may charge, may nakalagay dito sa top right corner. Okay. May nakalagay dyan na plus o kaya minus. Pero in our case, walang ganun. So meaning niyan, wala yang charge. Okay? Ano pa example? Br2. This is also elemental form. Okay? You have the same element, Br lang yung element dyan and wala siyang charge. Okay? So yun yung elemental form. So if asked what is the oxidation number of sodium in this? Sagot ay 0. What is the oxidation number of iron in this formula? Ang sagot ay 0. What is the oxidation number of aluminum in this formula? Ang sagot ay 0 pa rin. As long as the atom is in the elemental state, its oxidation number is always 0. Okay, and that's rule number 1. Easy lang, no? Now, how about this one? Is this elemental state? Hindi na. Kasi ang sabi natin, pag elemental state, you should have only one element and no charge. However, we have a charged particle here. Okay? So this means it is no longer an elemental state. No? How about this one? Hindi na rin. Okay? How about this one? Hindi na rin. About this one? Hindi na rin. Okay? So basically, if magka-charge na yung particle mo, chances are hindi na yan elemental state. Okay? So hindi na yan elemental state kasi may charge na siya. No? Okay? So ngayon, hindi nagagana yung rule number 1 doon. We follow the second rule. Okay? According to the second rule, for monoatomic ion, the oxidation number is equal to the ion charge. Okay? So, kunwari, ito. What is the oxidation number of sodium? It is, you can comment your answers. Mamaya I will be needing responses. No? So the oxidation number of sodium is positive 1. Why positive 1? Kasi, sabi dito, for monoatomic ion, ibig sabihin isang atom lang yung ion mo. For monoatomic ion, its oxidation number is the charge itself. And so, kung positive 1 to, ibig sabihin yung oxidation number niya, positive 1. How about Cl? What's the oxidation number of Cl? That's negative 1. Bakit naging negative 1? Kasi negative 1 yung charge niya. About nitride ion, oxidation number is negative 3. Kasi yun yung charge niya. And then we have oxide ion, the oxidation number is negative 2. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Okay? So we now have the elemental. Kapag elemental, 0. Kapag monoatomic ion, kung ano yung charge, yun na yung oxidation number. How about ito? How about this one? How about this one? How about them? Hindi na sila monoatomic, no? Kasi dalawa na yung atoms eh. Dalawa or higit pa, no? Ito dalawa, ito 5. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, they do not fall under rule number 1 and rule number 2 na, no? Kasi polyatomics na sila eh, no? Kahit walang charge yan, basta more than 1 yung atoms, hindi nagagana yung rule number 1 dyan, okay? Kasi hindi yan elemental state, no? Ibig sabihin, we need to use the third rule, okay? So, ang summary ng third rule is ganito lang. The sum of the oxidation numbers of the elements times kung ilan sila, equal yon sa charge. Okay? So, ano meaning yan ulit? Tagalogin natin. Pag pinag-add mo lahat ng oxidation number ng elements times kung ilan sila, equal yon sa charge ng molecule. The charge of a molecule of a covalent compound is 0. Now, for example, CO2, this is covalent compound. So, 0 yan. Okay. Molecular compound yan. So, wala tong charge, no? But for this one, may charge siya, no? So, ibig sabihin, pag in-add mo yung oxidation number nito plus this times 4, equal yun dapat sa positive 1. Okay? So, ganun mangyayari sa atin. Pag in-add mo yung oxidation number nito plus this one, it should be equal to negative 1. Okay? So, the problem is this, no? It seems like, ano yan, dalawa yung missing, dalawa yung nawawalang oxidation number. Not really. Because if we use rule number 3, we can just follow these rules dito. So basically, hindi dalawa yung nawawalang oxidation numbers dito. No? Okay? So for example, NH4. Pinahanap ko oxidation number niyan. Tingin kayo dito sa table. May sinabi ba dyan about nitrogen? Wala. May sinabi ba about hydrogen? Meron. Okay. Ibig sabihin, if you have knowledge kung ano yung oxidation number ni hydrogen, then you can solve for nitrogen. Okay? So, ganun yung gagawin. Let's have some example. Okay. Let's have a basic molecule muna, no? CH2O. This is formaldehyde. Ito yung ginagamit pag ini-embalsa mo ang tao. Okay, formaldehyde. Formalin. Okay. So, ngayon, tingin tayo. This is a molecule, no? Polyatomic na to. Pag polyatomic molecule na, hindi nagagana yung rule number 1 and rule number 2. Then the rule 3 should be followed. Ano sabi sa rule number 3? If we add the oxidation number of each element times kung ilan sila, equal yon sa charge ng molecule. So what is the charge of the molecule? Since walang nakalagay sa top right corner, ibig sabihin, 0 yon. Pag walang nakalagay doon sa top right corner, 0 yung charge ng molecule. Okay? So, saan equal yung 0? Oxidation number nito plus ito plus ito. So, let me write that. Oxidation number carbon. 2 oxidation number ni hydrogen. Oxidation number ni oxygen. Bakit may 2 yung kay hydrogen? Kasi dalawa siya. Kung ilan siya, i-multiply mo doon. Okay? Now, tatlo yung nawawala. Sabi ko sa inyo, pag gagamitin ang rule number 3, look at this table. Hanapin dito kung given yung mga oxidation numbers. Okay? So, tingin tayo. May sinabi ba about carbon? Wala. Walang sinabi about carbon. Ibig sabihin, yan yung missing. Okay? Okay? So, wala tayong sagot dyan. How about hydrogen? Ano sabi ko? For hydrogen, dalawa yung sinabi niya. Let me highlight them. Yan. For hydrogen, ang sabi, the oxidation number is positive 1 in combination with nonmetals and negative 1 in combination with metals and boron. The question is, sino katabi ni hydrogen? Sino yung mga katabi niyang atom? Si carbon, pati si oxygen. Are carbon and oxygen metals? Hindi, no? Hindi sila metal, non-metal yon. So that means, susundin natin yung sinabi niya about non-metal. So ibig sabihin nun, the oxidation number of hydrogen should be positive 1 kasi non-metal yung kasama niya. Okay? So this will be 2 times positive 1. How about oxygen? So let us now look at oxygen. May sinabi ba sa table about oxygen? Meron. Dalawa din yon. Negative 1 if peroxide, negative 2 all other compounds. The question is, what is a peroxide? When we say peroxide, that is an oxygen bonded with another oxygen. Pwedeng naka-double bond yan. Pwedeng naka-single bond. No? And then connected sila to other groups. No? Yan. So that is a peroxide. ROOR. Peroxide yan. Okay? So yan. So ibig sabihin, may chance na magka-peroxide tayo if more than 1 yung atom ng oxygen. Kaso isa lang oxygen atom dito, ibig sabihin, hindi tayo magkaka-peroxide dito. Okay? So hindi gagana yung peroxide, rather we will use this one. Negative 2. Okay? So plus negative 2. Okay, so we now know the oxidation number of hydrogen, the oxidation number of oxygen, yung carbon, yun yung nawawala. Let us solve for that, okay? So that's 0 equals oxidation number ni carbon. 2 times 1 is positive 2, negative 2, 2 minus 2, 0. Okay, so that means the oxidation number of carbon is 0. Okay, so in summary, kay carbon, 0, hydrogen, positive 1, oxygen, negative 2. So, yan yung ating mga oxidation numbers. Is it okay for carbon to have 0 charge? Yes, okay lang yan. Charge lang naman pinag-uusapan eh. Okay, so ganun lang. Yun na yun. Let's have some examples pa para mas masanay. Let's have, ano kaya? Acetic acid, CH3COOH. So let's have suka, CH3COOH. Okay. So, this is a molecule, polyatomic molecule yan. Okay. So, ano charge ng molecule na yan? Since wala nakalagay sa top right corner, 0. Saan equal yan? Oxidation number ni carbon times 2, kasi dalawa carbons natin. 4 na oxidation number ni hydrogen, plus 2 oxidation number ni oxygen. Okay? Baka ma-confuse kayo, hindi 20 yun ha. Let me change the color na lang. Okay. That's 2 times the oxidation number of carbon, 4 times the oxidation number of hydrogen, and 2 times the oxidation number of oxygen. Ngayon, sabi natin, si hydrogen, pag non-metal yung katabi niya, positive 1. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nito ay positive 1 na. How about oxygen? Balik ulit tayo sa table. Oxygen. It is negative 1 if peroxide yan, and negative 2 kapag all other compounds. Di ba sabi ko kanina, may chance maging peroxide pag dalawa or higit yung oxygen. But, ito yung question. Are the oxygens, R pala, dalawa eh. Are the oxygens in acetic acid peroxide? Paano mo malalaman kung peroxide yan? You have to know the Lewis structure. Kailangan alam niyo yung Lewis structure. Naalala pa ba? Kung hindi na, okay lang. I-google nyo na lang. Okay, so okay lang yon. Google nyo na lang. So, ganito itsura kasi ng acetic acid. Pero again, kailangan alalahanin nyo yung Lewis structure kasi kasama yun sa battery exam. Okay? So, this is the acetic acid, no? You have the CH3, ayan, the CH3COOH. Sabi ko, peroxide yan if may oxygen bonded directly with another oxygen. In this molecule, do we see any oxygen bonded to an oxygen? Wala. Kasi ang oxygen dito bonded kanino? Kay carbon. And ito, kay carbon lang din. Ang requirement para maging peroxide ay yung oxygen bonded with another oxygen. Kailangan nakaganito para maging peroxide. Pero wala eh. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ang oxidation number ni oxygen dito ay negative 2. Again, paano mo malalaman pag peroxide? Know the Lewis structure. Tignan mo yung Lewis structure. Pag may nakita kang O bonded with an O, peroxide yun. Okay? Pero kung wala, edi negative 2 yung oxidation number niya. Okay? So, ganun lang. Naantok ako. Maga ko nagising eh. Carbon, walang sinabi sa table. So, yun yung hahanapin natin. That's 0 equals to ON carbon plus 4 times positive 1 is 2 times negative 2. This is 4, this is 4. Okay, so 4 minus 4, 0. Okay, so ibig sabihin niyan, the oxidation number of carbon is the same as the previous one, 0. Okay, so 0 yung oxidation number ni carbon. O you may ask, no, siguro, always po ba 0 yung oxidation ni carbon? Ang sagot ay hindi. Okay, kaya nga siya wala dito. Kasi hindi always 0 yan. There are cases na siya ay -2, may cases na -4, may cases na +4. Okay, and anything in between. Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi lang yan yung oxidation number niya. Marami. Kaya nga kung titignan nyo yung periodic table, di ba may nakalagay doon sa taas, oxidation number. Ang daming nakalagay. Okay, so iba-iba kasi oxidation numbers nila depending kung sino katabi nila. Okay, di ba pag may periodic table kayo, yung malaki. Ayun. Nakalagay ng oxidation number, -4, -2, 0, +2, +4. Ayun. Yun yung dahilan. Kung sino yung katabi, dun bumabase yung oxidation number. Let's have some examples, no? And let's have some exercises. I will not answer all of them. Only few, no? Okay. Ito. I will answer 1, 4, and 7, 8. Ayan. I will answer 1, 4, 7, 8 kasi nasagutan ko na yung number 9. No? Then the rest kayo na bahala to practice. No? And I will upload the answer in the worksheet by next week. No? Para makapag-review kayo sa inyong exam and sa quiz. Okay. So let's determine the oxidation number of the elements in the following compound. Okay. Number 1. Iron 3 nitrate. We have Fe. NO3. Pwede ganito gawin mo dito. Okay, pwede ganito. So the charge of the molecule is 0. Equal yan sa oxidation number of iron, oxidation number of nitrogen times 3, oxidation number ni oxygen times 9. So nanggaling yung 3 pati 9. Ito, yung subscript, multiply mo doon. Dito pati doon. Pwede ganito. However, may hirapan ka dito. Bakit may hirapan ka? Kasi, may sinabi ba sa table about iron? Wala. Walang sinabi about iron. May sinabi ba about nitrogen? Wala din. Ang oxygen meron. Ayun o. So, ibig sabihin, if you use this pattern, dalawa yung unknown mo. Okay? So, dalawa yung magiging unknown mo. Ano gagawin mo? You can do the reverse crisscross. So, always, ang gagawin mo, if you have, balik tayo. If you have an ionic compound, i-convert mo sila into ions. Okay? So, iron 3 nitrate is an ionic compound. You have a metal and you have non-metal. So, ionic compound yan. Okay? So, ganun gagawin mo. Instead of doing this, since dalawa yung missing, gawin mo silang ions, no? Para mas mapadali ang buhay. So, how do reverse crisscross works, no? Di ba sabi natin last time, kunwari, you have this ion. We have the ion A +2 and then you have B -3. Ang crisscross is ito, ibababa mo doon. Ito, ibababa mo doon. So, the formula is A3B2. Yan yung crisscross. Ano yung reverse crisscross? Di ba, baliktarin mo lang. Saan nanggaling to? Dito. Saan nanggaling to? Doon. Since yung A natin is the metal, so positive yon, negative yon. Okay? So, yun yung reverse crisscross, no? Instead na ibaba mo, iaakyat mo yung numbers to the opposite ion. Okay? So, kasi itong 3 na to nanggaling dun eh. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ganun gagawin natin. Itong 2 na to, dun yung nanggaling. So, ganun gagawin mo. Okay? Naalala yun. Sana naalala yun. Kasi last sem lang yan eh. So, let's do the reverse crisscross for iron 3 nitrate. Saan galing yung 3? Kay iron. Since iron is a metal, positive yan. Si iron, may subscript ba yan? Meron. Pag walang nakalagay, 1 yun. Saan yung 1 na yan? Kay nitrate. Okay? Nitrate, negative charge yan. So that means our ions ay ano? So that means you have iron 3 plus and nitrate ion. Now, tignan mo yung nangyari. Nung nag-reverse crisscross tayo, we now know the oxidation number of iron equal to positive 3. Bakit? This is a monoatomic ion. Diba? Nagawa natin ng paraan yung iron. Kasi wala siya sa table, so gawa tayo ng paraan. Yun, gumana. Nakuha natin yung charge, yung oxidation number ni iron being positive 3 na. So, ganun gagawin nyo, ha? So, ganun din gagawin nyo for this, no? Pag ionic compound, gawing ions ulit. Don't forget your polyatomic ions, no? Mas maganda kung kabisado yon, okay? Pero yun. Ngayon, ang poproblemahin na lang natin ay ito. Let's solve for nitrate, okay? So, the charge is negative 1 equal to the oxidation number of nitrogen plus 3 times the oxidation number of oxygen. Okay? So, ginawa ko na yung rule number 3 dito. The charge is equal to this plus this. No? 3 times the oxidation number of oxygen. Ito question. 3 oxygens dyan. So, ibig sabihin, it could be peroxide or oxygen bonded with other atoms. Paano mo malalaman kung peroxide? You check the Lewis structure. Always check the Lewis structure, no, para mas sure. If you could still remember, no, the correct Lewis structure for nitrate ion is this one. Ito yung correct Lewis structure niya. So, may peroxide? Wala. Walang peroxide kasi walang oxygen bonded to oxygen. Okay. Walang ganon. Kaya, this is negative 2. Okay, yung oxygen dito ay negative 2. Okay? So, ganun lang. Okay, so yan. Oxygen is negative 2 kasi walang peroxide eh. Pag may peroxide, negative 1. Okay, so let us solve for the oxidation number of nitrogen. So, this is negative 6, negative 1, o yung 6, lipat mo sa kabila. And that's equal to positive 5. Yun. Nagawan natin ng paraan. So, in summary, the oxidation number of iron is positive 3. Oxidation number of nitrogen is positive 5. Oxidation number of oxygen is negative 2. Yun. Naaalala nyo na ba? Sana naaalala na, no? Kasi last time na-discuss din to. Okay. Mabilisan na ako. Faster pace na tayo kasi nakapag-review na kayo eh. Let's have number 4. Mabilisan na ako. Pero di-discuss ko pa rin bakit naging ganun. So, medyo mabilis yung pace ko kasi nakapag-review na tayo with few examples kanina. Oh, now, we have calcium hypochlorite. No? So, that is calcium hypochlorite. No? Hypochlorite. Okay. So, yung pangalan yan. Sana naalala pa yung name sa. Okay. Ano gagawin? This is ionic compound, so do the reverse crisscross. Yung 2 galing doon, yung 1 galing dito. Reverse crisscross. Huwag kakalimutan yung polyatomic ions. So, Google nyo na lang kung ano yung mga polyatomic ions kung di kabisado. Pero mas maganda kung kabisado nyo yan. Okay? So, we have calcium 2 plus and ClO minus. Okay. Ayun, nakuha na natin kay calcium. Oxidation number of calcium is positive 2. ClO na lang. Ayun yung problemahin natin, ClO. So we say the charge is the oxidation number of Cl plus the oxidation number of oxygen. Now, titingin tayo sa table kung given ba. Given ba yung Cl? So, group 7. Zoom in natin. Naantok pa ako. Group 7. Yan yung Cl. Ang sabi, oxidation number of Cl is negative 1 in combination with metal, non-metal, and other halogen, except oxygen. Malinaw yun. Except oxygen. Ibig sabihin, kung oxygen yung kabanding na Cl, hindi given yung oxidation number. Isosolve mo yun. Okay? Kasi ano kabanding ng ng Cl natin? Oxygen, 'di ba? Sinabi sa table, except oxygen. So, ibig sabihin, solve mo yung Cl. Okay? Solve natin yung Cl. Okay? So, ganun. Nasa table yan, pero again, ang katabi niya ay oxygen. So, sabi dun din sa table, pag oxygen ang katabi, hahanapin mo yung oxidation number niya. Okay? Oxidation number of oxygen is still negative 2, no? Kasi wala naman peroxide dyan. So, we find out that oxidation number of Cl is 2 minus 1 or positive 1. Okay, so in summary, oxidation number of calcium, positive 2. Oxidation number of Cl, positive 1. Oxidation number of oxygen, negative 2. Hopefully, nasusundan. Pag may question, tanong lang kaya. Okay. Importanteng magtanong ng question sa mga topic na may hirap tulad nito. Okay? Don't hesitate na. Pag may hiya magtanong. Kung mag-message kayo sa akin madaling araw, okay lang yan. Mahalaga masagot yung tanong niya. Okay? So, ganun. Let's have number 7. Kung master niya na to, very good, no? Pero kung hindi pa, edi ito. Sana nasasabayan na ako. Okay, so this is called potassium dichromate. Ang potassium dichromate ay toxic. Kulay orange to, no? Para siyang yung tang orange, no? Ganun yung kulay niya. As in, same yung color niya. Tang orange, no? Ganun yung kulay niya. However, hindi mo to pwede inumin. Kasi this is very toxic. This is cancerous, no? So, I'd like to share a story with you bago tayo mag-continue. That's the story of Erin Brockovich. My name na nakapangalan sa kanya, Erin Brockovich, no? Okay. So, Erin Brockovich is bago siya maging clerk, no? Bago siya maging legal clerk, normal lang siyang babae living in United States, no? Normal lang siyang tao, no? That is very concerned with other people sa paligid niya, sa community. Okay. Kaso, ang nangyari, they live in an area near to a chemical plant, no? Malapit sila sa isang planta ng chemicals that disposes chromium-6. Okay? Ayan, Pacific Gas and Electric yan. Naglalabas sila ng chromium-6 sa tubig. Okay? Nagtatapon sila directly sa tubig. Ano yung problem doon? Sabi ko, yung chromium ay cancerous. Okay? Cancerous. Ang napansin ni Erin Brockovich, ang daming nagkakasakit sa area nila. Wala namang epidemic, wala namang pandemic, no? Ang daming nakakasakit, no? may mga nakukunan, miscarriage, may mga stillbirth, no? May mga birth defects, no? So, yung iba namatay sa cancer. Nagtaka siya, no? So, nagtaka siya and then upon her investigation, no? Which is very smart of her, no? Kahit normal na babae siya. Wala siyang, I think hindi siya nag-aral ng science or law, no? Ano lang, self-learned siya, self-taught, no? Inaral niya ano mga nangyayari sa paligid niya. Inaral niya yung legal basis, no? Ang galing nga ng babae na to eh. So, yun. Upon her investigations, no, ayun, nakita niya na may chromium poisoning na nangyayari sa community niya. So ginawa niya, she filed a case against this company and 'di ba usually talo yung mga maliliit na tao sa mga big companies. So, kunwari, kasuhan mo McDonald's, kasuhan mo yung Shell, talo ka for sure kasi magagaling lawyer nila na. Pero one thing for Erin Brockovich is that since siya ay nasa tamang side, pinaboran talaga siya ng court, no? So, nanalo siya sa case, no? And that actually gave her and the community a huge amount of money. And then, nasuspende yung company na to. Pinasara yung planta na yun dun sa area nila. So, please watch this video. Maganda to. Very inspirational, no? Especially, kunwari, mga women empowerment. Yan, kung gusto niyo manood ng mga ganung movies, this is very good watch, no? Kasi may science behind this and may legal basis. Ang galing nga eh. Okay. So, yan, Chromium 6 na. And ayun, ngayon siya ay tignan mo, nagkaroon siya ng Juris Doctor honorary degree, Master of Arts, Doctor of Humanities. Ang galing, no? So, if you do something for a good cause talaga, no, God will return the favor. Okay? So, hopefully kayo din, no? If may something na mali sa area nyo, investigate and raise that to the community, no? Malay nyo, maging tulad kayo ni Erin Brockovich, no? However, sa Pilipinas, medyo delikado. Alam mo naman mga nangyayari. Mga environmentalist, nung ginagawa sa atin, pinapatay sila, kawawa nga eh. Pero yun, hopefully magbago yung sistema. Kasi the earth is dying. If the earth dies, patay din tayo. Okay? So sana mawala yung greed sa kanila. Okay. So, going back. 'Di ba? Ang galing mula sa orange juice naging movie na, no? Naging about na dying earth na. Ganun talaga, no? Na tayo magagawa. Anyway, so let's do the reverse crisscross. Recall that Cr2O7 is a polyatomic anion. Ito yung dichromate. Sabi ko sa mga students ko, I think may students ako dito before, no? Kapag may polyatomic ion ka, you always write a parenthesis outside, no? Para alam mo yung i-reverse crisscross mo. Okay? So, itong 2 na to, dito yan. Okay? So, negative yon. Ito, instead na yung 7 yung ilipat mo dun sa kabila, mali kasi yun eh. Mali yun, kasi polyatomic ion yan. Hindi 7 yung ililipat mo dun. Instead, yung number outside the parenthesis. Kaya nga tayo nagpa-parenthesis kapag may polyatomic ion. Di ba naaalala nyo, BaOH2. Saan galing yung 2 na yan dito? Yan. Pag wala nakalagay dyan, edi 1 yun. Okay? So, ganun yung ginagawa namin dito. Okay? So, yung 1 na to, galing yun doon. Since potassium is metal, positive 1 siya. So, the ions we have here are potassium ion and dichromate ion. Ayun. So, nasagot na natin. Oxidation number of potassium is positive 1. Ngayon, chromium na lang, pati oxygen. Okay. So, to solve for chromium and oxygen, gawin mo yung rule number 3. So, that's negative 2 equals 2 times the oxidation number of chromium plus 7 times the oxidation number of oxygen. At tanong, meron ba ditong peroxide? Tignan natin Lewis structure. Ang Lewis structure ng dichromate ay ganito. Yan yung kanyang Lewis structure. Do you see any peroxide bonds? Wala. Kasi, yung oxygen, bonded sila lahat kay chromium. Walang oxygen na bonded sa oxygen. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, walang peroxide, no? That means the oxidation number of oxygen here is -2. So, always double check if may peroxide by looking at the Lewis structure. So, this is -2. And continue solving lang. 7 times -2, 14. Kunwari, di ko alam sagot, pero alam ko naman sagot na. Kahapon ko pa ito sinasagutan eh. 14, lipat mo sa kabila. So, 14 minus 2, 2 oxidation numbers, chromium. 14 minus 2 is 12. 2 oxidation number, chromium, divided by 2, you will get 6 now as the oxidation number of chromium. So that's +6. Ganon. Again, if you have polyatomic ions, you should recognize that, no? Yung subscript ng polyatomic ions, hindi yun yung ililipat mo sa kabila. Rather, yung outside the parenthesis ang i-criss-cross. Again, outside the parenthesis, no? Hindi yung 7. Hindi rin yung 2. Yun nasa labas. Okay? Pag walang nakalagay sa labas ng parenthesis, ibig sabihin, 1 yun. Okay tayo dan. Ayan, so medyo tapos na tayo sa review. CO2, last one. Wala pa tayo sa mismong topic, no? So we are just on the surface level. So CO2, this is a molecular formula. Okay? So the oxidation number for carbon plus oxidation number of oxygen times 2 is equal to 0. Okay? So direkta na yan. Ngayon, may peroxide ba yan? Wala. Kasi ang Lewis structure ng carbon dioxide is, ayan, walang peroxide, no? Ibig sabihin, -2 to. Solving for carbon, that will give us -4. Lipat sa kabila. +4. So in summary, oxygen is -2. Carbon is +4. Easy lang, di ba? Easy. Kaya mo to kahit natutulog ka. Yan. Mamaya panaginipan mo to, di good na. Okay. So, ganun lang. So, I want you to practice on the other atoms. Okay? On the other molecules. No? And I will give more pagdating sa worksheet. Okay. So, how is that related to oxidation? How is oxidation number related to redox reaction? Define muna natin what is redox. No? When I say redox, dalawa yan. We have the reduction and the oxidation. Reduction, oxidation. Redox. Gets? Ganun. So, redox is oxidation, reduction, reactions. So, this is a reaction wherein electrons are transferred. Electrons yung lumilipat. Okay? From one species to the other. Okay. And then, in redox reactions, 2 reactions occur simultaneously. Dalawang reaction yung nangyayari at the same time. We have the reduction and the oxidation reaction. Ano mangyayari kapag sinabing reduction? The electrons are gained. Ibig sabihin, tumatanggap yung atom ng electrons. Kapag oxidation naman, the electrons are given off. Naglalabas ng electron sila. Okay? Parang yan? Imagine natin, ako. Kunwari, kapatid nyo ako. which is siguro kasing edad ko lang mga kapatid nyo. Okay. So, yun. Kunwari, magkapatid tayo. Ako, bibigyan ko kayo 500. Ako yung nag-lose ng money, kayo yung nag-gain ng money. Ganun sa redox. Binigyan kita electron. Ako yung nag-lose ng electron, ikaw yung nag-gain ng electron. Baga, ako yung oxidation, ikaw yung reduction. So, it will happen at the same time, no? Wala naman yung magbibigay ka ng pera tapos walang tatanggap, no? Walang ganun. Wala namang umaasa kang tatanggap ka ng pera tapos wala namang magbibigay, no? Anong ginagawa mo? Paparinig ka sa Twitter, 'di ba? Kaya sa Facebook, no? Tatag mo pa magulang mo. Okay? So, walang ganun, no? Kailangan kapag may magtatanggap, dapat may nagbibigay, no? And vice versa. Ganun din dito sa redox reaction. Someone will give the electron and someone will take in the electron. The one that is giving off the electron is the oxidation reaction, and the one that is taking in the electrons are called the reduction reaction. To make it simpler, we have these mnemonics, the oil rig. Ito, familiar dapat sa inyo to. Oil rig, oxidation is losing. Reduction is gaining. Okay? So, oxidation is losing, reduction is gaining. Losing what? Electron. Gaining what? Electron. Kasi kapag sinabi nating redox, electrons ang pinag-uusapan. Okay? Someone will lose, someone will accept. Okay? So, yan. Diba? Another mnemonic is the Leora Geroa. Okay? Para siyang pangalan ng tao, no? Pwede kung may kambal kayo, no, in the future, no, teacher pa rin ako. Tapos kayo, may mga anak na. Pangalanan nyo Leora Gero, ipa-perfect ko yung quiz nun. Pag naging estudyante ko yan. Kasi ako yung nagbigay sa inyo ng idea. Pangalan nyo yan, kahit corny. Pagkambal, di ba? Yung isa, oxidation, yung isa, reduction, di ba? So, yan. Wala lang. Kasi may mga ganun tao mga pinapangalan yung anak nila sa chemistry, no? Mga weird. Pero wala lang. Nakatuwa. Let's define Leora Geroa. Similar lang yan sa oil rig but expanded, no? Leora, teka lang. I need more space. Lipat ako dito sa kabila. Losing electron, oxidation, reducing agent. Ayusin ko yung sulat. Gaining. Basta yan. Gaining electron, reduction, oxidizing agent. Basta yan. Naantok yung aking kamay. Oxidizing agent. Okay. So, Leora Geroa, losing electron oxidation, and whoever undergoes oxidation reaction are called reducing agent. Gaining electron reduction, and whoever undergoes reduction reaction are oxidizing agents. Okay? Baliktad yan talaga, sir. Baliktad talaga. Bakit? Ito analogy natin. Pag ikaw ay agent, anong meaning nun? Parang ikaw yung tumutulong sa tao, di ba? Okay. Kunwari, sales agent ka. You help the person bumili. Okay? So, yun, sales agent ka. Kunwari, ikaw, land agent, no? O, land broker. Ano ginagawa mo? Ikaw yung ahente that assist the person na makabili ng lupa. Ano ginagawa ng reducing agent? Tumutulong siya para ma-reduce yung other molecules. Basically, siya yung oxidation, no? Kasi yung oxidation, remember, siya yung nagbibigay ng electron. Saan niya binibigay yon? Sa reduction. Kumbaga, tinutulungan niya na mangyari ito. Okay? So, ganun yung logic doon. Parang tao lang din to, no? Kunwari, financial advisor, gusto mo kumuha ng policy, insurance agent ako, kunwari lang. Okay. Bibigyan, tulungan ko kayo magkaroon ng insurance, no? Ako yung ahente. Parang ganun yung idea nun, no? Ikaw yung tatanggap ng insurance, tapos ako yung tutulong. Yun yung agents. Yun yung meaning. Okay? So, ganun din dito sa chemistry. Pag sinabing reducing agent, eto, tutulungan niya yung kabila. Tutulungan niya yung reducing or reduction reaction. Okay? Kaya tawag sa kanya ay ahente ng kabila. Ahente ng reduction, reducing agent. O, ganun din dito. Siya yung tumatanggap ng binibigay nito, okay? Ibig sabihin nun, tinutulungan niya rin doon. So, agent siya to allow this to happen. Okay, so siya yung oxidizing agent. Okay? So, kung malito kayo, Leora Geroa na lang, no? Kung sino yung oxidized, siya yung reducing agent. Kung sino yung reduced, siya yung oxidizing agent. Okay? So, ganun ha. Pag nagkakagulo-gulo na sa utak, remember, Leora Geroa. Oxidation, reducing agent. Reduction, oxidizing agent. Leora Geroa. Mas complete to kaysa sa oil rig. Okay? What will happen pala, no? What will happen if an atom accepts or loses electron? Balik ulit tayo sa concept ng charge. Ano yung concept ng charge? Sabi natin, that's the difference of proton and electron. If the atom loses electron, what will happen to the charge? Sige, chat kayo. If the atom loses electrons, what will happen to the charge? Will it increase, decrease? None of the above. Sige. The charge will increase. Ayan, sabi ni Raf. Tataas yung charge. Kasi nga, nababawasan ka ng electron eh. You are removing negativity, no? Di ba ganun tayo? Pag ganun naman tayo eh. Kapag kunwari, super stress ka na sa life, remove negativity. Nagiging positive outlook natin sa buhay, di ba? Okay? Okay, so by removing negativity, mas nagiging positive ka. Ganun din yung atoms. When they lose electron, they become more positive. And as a result, when an atom undergoes oxidation reaction, its oxidation number increases. Tataas yung oxidation number niya. Okay. Ayun. About reduction, gaining electron yan, what will happen to the charge? Obviously, it will decrease. No? Kung sabihin, mas magiging negative yung oxidation number niya. Bakit? Kasi by adding more electron, what happens? Mas lumalaki yung negative side. So, pag pinag-subtract mo yun, mas mababa yung number. Or pwedeng negative yun. Okay? So, that's the idea. When an atom undergoes reduction, the oxidation number decreases. And when it undergoes oxidation, the oxidation number increases. Let's take this one for example. So this is the reaction between zinc and acid, hydronium ion. Okay. So following the activity series, no? So according to activity series, pwede to magkaroon ng reaction producing hydrogen gas. Okay. So now, let's look. Sa zinc, 0 siya. Elemental state yan eh. So rule number 1 yan. On the product side, positive 2 na siya. O rule number 2 yan. What happened? Yung oxidation number ni zinc ay umakyat. From 0, naging 2. So it should give us an idea that zinc is oxidized. No? Zinc becomes oxidized and it is called the reducing agent. Diba sabi ko kung sino yung nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Diba? So, ganun. So, pag tumaas yung oxidation number, oxidize siya, and ang tawag sa kanya ay reducing agent. How about hydrogen? Hydrogen, from positive 1, naging 0. Bumaba. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, it is reduced. And therefore, since it underwent reduction reaction, it is called the oxidizing agent. So, ganun ha. Okay? Whoever, tao no? Kala mo tao. Ano ba dapat na word? Basta yan, whoever na lang, alam niyo. Kunwari tao sila. Kung sino man ang nag-undergo ng oxidation, ang tawag sa kanya ay reducing agent. And kung sino man yung nag-undergo ng reduction, ang tawag sa kanya ay oxidizing agent. Don't get confused, no? It's Leora Geroa. Leora Geroa lang yan. Okay, tayo done. Let's have some more examples. No? More examples. Lapit na tayo matapos, don't worry. Katulad nyo, ako ay gutom na rin. So, yan. Let's have some examples. The following are considered redox. Actually, hindi yan redox, no? May isa dyan na hindi redox. Siyempre, pag nasagutan ko yung isa, alam nyo na hindi redox yung kabila, no? So, let's identify the reducing agent and the oxidizing agent. Zoom in tayo. Okay. So, let's try aluminum. Itong sa aluminum muna. Okay. So, in order for me to know kung ito ay redox, dapat may makita akong nagbabago ng oxidation number. Dapat may makita akong elements na nagbabago ang oxidation number. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, I will check individually the oxidation numbers of each atom. Individually na nga, each pa, di ba? Emphasis yon. Okay, so ito gagawin ko mabilisan kasi kahapon ko pa to sinasagutan, no? So kayo, I will leave this to you as exercise na, as an exercise na lang. Okay? But ito yung sagot. Aluminum is 0, H is positive 1, sulfur is positive 6, oxygen is negative 2, positive 3, positive 6, negative 2, 0. Yan yung sagot. Okay? So, kung kayo, isosolve nyo yan later to confirm, yan yung sagot. Okay? So, ganun ha. Kaya yan i-mental, lalo na kapag sanay ka na, no? Ayan. Anong gagawin natin? Nakatulala na lang no? Anong gagawin natin? Let's check if may atoms dito na nagbabago yung oxidation number. For example, aluminum, 0 yan. On the product side, positive 3. May something. Hydrogen, positive 1 yan. Pagdating sa product side, 0 na lang. Yung sulfur and oxygen, same lang. Ano meaning nun? Yung aluminum, from 0, naging positive 3 yan. Ibig sabihin, aluminum underwent oxidation. So, nag-underwent siya ng oxidation reaction. So, in contrast, yung hydrogen, from positive 1, naging 0. So, that means it underwent reduction reaction. Okay, so it underwent reduction reaction. So, sino ngayon yung oxidizing agent? A, B, C, or D? Kunwari quiz to. I give you an equation. Identify kung sino yung oxidizing and reducing agent. Okay? Kunwari quiz to ha. Tapos bigyan ko kayong tips kung paano mas madali mag-solve. Sino oxidizing agent? Oxidizing agent. Is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? Oxidizing agent, C. Mag-chat kayo. Para makita ko kung tama yung ating sagot. Leora Geroa. Sino ang oxidizing agent? Okay, may isang sagot tayo na B. How about the others? B. And B. Okay. Maraming B. Sagot ay B. Okay. So, yun, ganun. Ito yung oxidizing agent. Okay. So, that means ito yung reducing agent. Okay. So, yan, reducing agent. Ganito mangyayari sa quiz nyo. Similar with this one. A, B, C, D choices. Even sa exam, ganun din. A, B, C, D. Malamang, kung sino yung reactant, sila lang yung choices mo. Kasi wala tayong tawag sa products. Okay? Wala tayong tawag sa products. So, pag nakita mo yung letter C, product yan. Oh, cross out mo yon. Kasi walang tawag sa kanya. Ito hindi, product din yan. Walang tawag sa kanya. Ibig sabihin, yung 4 questions, yung 4 choices mo, magiging dalawa na lang. Okay? So, ganun gagawin nyo sa quiz, ha? Nakakita kayo ng choices, A, B, C, D. Sino yung reducing agent? Tignan nyo. Ay, itong dalawa na sa product side yan. Walang tawag sa kanila. So, dalawa na lang pagpipilian mo. Either ito or ito. If you're going to choose between this and this, Leora, Jeroa lang ang gagawin nyo. Okay? So, yun yung ginagawa ko, no? Ganun naman kasi talaga, no? Pero again, I'd like to emphasize on that para kapag nag-quiz kayo, mas mabilis. Kasi mamaya may magkamali pa dito, ha? Again, pag products, walang tawag doon. Only the reactants yung may pangalan. Kung sino yung nag-undergo ng oxidation, siya yung reducing agent. Kung sino yung nag-undergo ng reduction, siya yung oxidizing agent. Okay? So, ganun ha. Okay, so, binigay ko na yung tip ko sa inyo. Let's proceed with the next one. Sulat ko, ito ay RA. Ito ay oxidizing agent. How about the second one? Okay, so to determine if this is a redox reaction, anong gagawin nyo? Identify the oxidation numbers. Ito, bibigay ko na yung sagot, ha. Mabilisan lang. Kasi alam ko na. Dahil kahapon ko pa ito sinasagutan. Pero kung gusto nyo mag-practice, edi sige, sagot lang kayo. Okay, so yan yung oxidation number ng lahat ng atoms sa formula na ito. Okay, so kaya nyo yan i-mental actually. No? Sana yan lang. Now, track natin kung may nagbago sa oxidation number. How about hydrogen? 1 dito, 1 doon. Pagdating sa product side, 1 pa rin. Okay, so wala nagbago. Sulfur, ganun pa rin. 6 to. 6 din yan. Okay. Oxygen, negative 2 to. Negative 2 pa rin doon. So wala nagbago. Ayun, negative 2 din dyan. Sodium, positive 1 dito. Positive 1 doon. Now, with that in mind, is the second equation a redox reaction or not? Is that a redox reaction or not? Ang sagot ay not a redox reaction. So, hindi yan redox reaction. Bakit? Kasi it is necessary for redox reaction that yung iyong oxidation number ay magbago. Okay, kailangan magbabago yung oxidation number. Otherwise, hindi yan redox. Okay? So, simple reaction lang yan. In this case, that's, tawag doon, double displacement. No? So, ano-anong reaction yung considered as redox? Ano-anong reaction yung mga considered as redox? Yan yung mga single replacement. Okay? single replacement, no? Ano pa? Merong double displacement, no? Few double displacement reaction ay redox in nature. Combustion reaction. Sa combustion reaction, ang nagbabago ng oxidation number ay yung carbon and oxygen. Okay. So, yan. Yung carbon kasi doon na-oxidize, no? So, tumataas yung kanyang oxidation number. Yung oxygen na-reduce, no? So, from elemental state being 0, magiging H2O yun which is -2. So, reduce yung oxygen sa combustion reaction. What else? Ayan. Then redox titrations, no? Redox reactions itself. Okay. So, yan. So, yun yung mga redox reaction. So, sometimes it is single replacement. It could be double displacement, but only few of them ay redox in nature. Combustion reactions are redox, no? And then, obviously, kung anything else, basta redox ay redox. Okay? So, ganun lang. It is important to know that when your oxidation number changes, redox reaction yun. Okay? So, take note of that. Ito, so mabilisan tayo. So, I'll give you, let's say, 5 minutes. I want you to identify the oxidizing agent, the reducing agent for this and this. Mabilisan lang ha. Bibigay ko rin yung sagot na. Pero I want you to mauna kayo sa pag-solve kaysa sa akin. Kasi alam ko na yung sagot dito eh. Okay? So, ganun ha. So, I'll give you 5 minutes to work on that. So, 12:08 tayo. Facebook muna ako. Hello ka sa kanila. May sagot na kayo? Huwag nyo i-google ha. Kailangan master nyo yung oxidation number. Again, take note na ano pa lang to. Wala pa tayo sa mismong topic. Sa ano pa lang tayo, nasa bungad pa lang tayo. Kumbaga entrance pa lang to ng first 5 minutes pa lang to ng pelikula. Susunod may iyak ka na lang, matutuwa ka, ganun. Kukulit lang yun. Baby. Okay, so it's almost 5 minutes. I'll give you the answers. Okay, so I'll give you the answers. Silver is +1, obviously. Aluminum is 0. This is 0. This is +3. This is +7. Oxygen is -2, -1, +2, +1, +1, and negative. Okay, so that's the oxidation number of these atoms. Okay, so looking at the oxidation numbers for the first problem, ano nangyari? Silver is reduced, It underwent reduction reaction. And aluminum is oxidized from 0 to +3. Oxidation reaction. So meaning, the oxidizing agent is silver ion and the reducing agent is the aluminum. Take note, kailangan sabihin mo Ag+. Kasi Ag+ yung nag-reduce Okay? So pag tinanong kayo oxidizing agent, hindi mo sasabihin na Ag lang, Again, walang tawag sa products, walang tawag sa kanila. Kailangan i-indicate mo na Ag+ yung tinutukoy mo. Okay? So be careful ha. Ayan. And then we have the second part. Ayan. So as you can see, permanganate ion, MnO4, na-convert siya into Mn2+. This is reduction. And yung Cl, from -1 naging +1. So this is oxidation reaction. Meaning that permanganate is the oxidizing agent and chloride ion is the reducing agent. Okay? Kuhaan nyo, saan to nakikita? Ay, hindi. Wala pala. hindi pala to nakikita. Sorry. Yan. So, yan yung sagot natin. By the way, kung gusto nyo makakita ng redox reaction sa bahay, kung gusto nyo makakita ng ganun, ganito gawin nyo. May bleach kayo, di ba? Ito ginagawa to ni mama sa bahay. Yung sabon, yung liquid detergent, let's say yung dishwashing liquid, kunwari Joy, na kulay yellow, patakan mo ng bleach, mawawala yung color na yellow. Ibig sabihin nun, may redox reaction yun. Gawin niyo yun pag maghuhugas kayo. Kasi ako tagahugas ako sa bahay. So, nakikita ko, nawawala yung kulay ng pag nawala yung kulay ng Joy, ibig sabihin nun, nilagyan ng bleach yun. Ano pa example nun? Betadine. Ako may betadine ako dito. Pag yung betadine, yung isang patak ng betadine, patakan mo rin ng bleach, Zonrox. Mawawala yung kulay ng betadine. Redox reaction din yun. Okay? So that's the reaction between hypochlorite and I think that's hypochlorite and triiodide. No. Yan. So ito yung nangyayari sa betadine, pati sa bleach. Okay? So try nyo sa bahay, no? Pag naglaba kayo or pag naghugas kayo ng plato. Ayan. Paghaluin nyo sila. Pag nawala yung color, ibig sabihin may redox reaction yun. Ganun kasing characteristic ng redox. Okay? So yan. So, what else do I have to say about this reaction? Tignan nyo. Remember the law of conservation of mass, no? What's with law of conservation of mass? Sabi doon, in a chemical reaction, yung mga atoms, particles natin, kung ilan sila before, ganun din on the product side, no? Okay? So, ganun talaga, no? Okay? So, ibig sabihin, according to law of conservation of mass, kung ilan yung particles mo before, ganun din dapat after. Let's look at number 1. Yung unang equation. Is that equation balanced? In terms of atoms, yes, it is balanced. No? Kasi isa yung silver, isa yung aluminum, isa yung silver, isa yung aluminum. But, yung charges niya, tignan nyo. On the left side, you have positive 1. So, ito yan. Positive 1, 0. No, positive 1 dito. On the right side, you have positive 3 and then 0. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung charge dito sa left ay positive 1 and on the right side, positive 3. Bakit kaya hindi pantay yung charge? Kasi yung electrons hindi pantay. Hindi equal yung electrons nila, kaya hindi pantay yung charges. Violation yon ng law of conservation of mass. Kasi sabi sa law of conservation of mass, yung particles dapat equal. So, ibig sabihin, hindi lang dapat yung atoms yung equal, dapat yung electrons din. And as a result, dapat yung charge din ay balance. So, ibig sabihin, in balancing redox reaction, you are not just only balancing the atoms, but you are also balancing the electrons. Okay? So, yun yung gagawin mo sa isang redox reaction. You are going to balance not only the atoms, but also the electrons. No? So, obvious naman itong pangalawa, hindi talaga to balance. No? Kasi may 4 kong oxygen dito and on the right side, isa lang. You have hydrogen here, wala doon. Okay? So, unbalanced to. So, again, in balancing redox reaction, there are few steps to follow. Ito yon. And I will discuss this next meeting na lang. Okay? Para makapagpahinga na rin kayo and you can study in advance and o kaya mag-study kayo ng ibang subject muna. Okay? So next meeting, I will cover this. So I hope na mag-advance study kayo, no? So I hope na mag-advance study kayo dito sa balancing equation. Then next meeting, we will continue until standard potential. Medyo mahaba yan. Okay, so we will continue this next meeting and I will see you again next Tuesday. Okay? Ayan. So I'll see you again. Ha? So, yan. Any concerns about the discussion o wala naman? Yan, close ko na. Nababasa nyo na yung group chat ko. Mga group chat ko, nakikita nyo na eh. Mga classmates ko yan dati. Until now, close pa rin kami. No? Sana ganun din kayo, no? Pagka-graduate nyo, close pa rin. Okay, so kung wala ng question, anyway, I'll see you again next week na. So, I'll upload a copy of the video. Please study in advance, no? And then ask questions if may kailangan itanong. Okay, so bye-bye and stay safe always. Happy lunch.